Hey, and welcome back to Unfiltered and Unbound. Or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Kate. So, this is a little different today. The guest episode that I had planned for this week on redundancy is coming next week. It's an important one, and I wanted to give it the time and space that it deserves. But I also didn't want to disappear for a week. So, instead, I thought we'd have a little coffee break together. Just me, a cuppa, and a few honest reflections on what creating season one of this podcast has actually taught me. Because if I'm honest, I did start this with a plan. I had a framework in my head, and I thought I knew what the show would be, what the conversations would sound like, what topics I'd lean into, and how it would all unfold. And reality happened. So the show's starting to become something else, something better, actually. Now, I thought this podcast would mainly be about women over 50 navigating change, reinvention, and all the things society doesn't prepare us for. And that is that. But it's also become about courage, about identity, about women who are no longer apologising for taking up space, and what happens when life doesn't go to plan and you build something meaningful anyway. So that part surprised me. I didn't realize how drawn I'd be to stories of women who'd started again, spoken up, backed themselves, or simply decided they're not done yet. And I think that says something about all of us. So a few episodes have really stayed with me, some because of the response that they received, and some because of what shifted in me while recording them. There were moments mid-conversation where I thought, this is it. And this is why I wanted to start the show. It's not for polished answers. It's not for perfect storytelling, but for the truth. For the kind of conversations women are craving, the ones that make you feel seen, challenged, less alone, or quietly braver. And then there's the part no one talks about enough. Starting something new when you're out of your comfort zone. So let me be honest, there have been many moments this season where I absolutely had no idea what I was doing. Um, you know, Learning the new tech, the editing, recording intros, hearing my own voice back, wondering if anyone would listen, wondering if I had anything worth saying, and wondering if I'd made a mistake starting it all. But I did it anyway. And that has probably been the biggest lesson of season one. You do not need to feel ready. You do not need to know everything. You do not need confidence before you begin. Sometimes confidence only arrives because you begin. And I have really, really, really enjoyed the learning process. I've enjoyed stretching myself and learning new skills and doing things I've been terrified of. And I've really enjoyed being a beginner again. Now, there's something powerful about proving to yourself that you can still learn new things, still evolve, still surprise yourself, especially in this season of life. So if I could go back and talk to myself before episode one, I'd probably say, relax. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just start. Let it grow with you. So, what do I know now that I didn't know when I first pressed record? That starting messy is better than waiting elegantly, that women are hungry for honest conversations, and that this little podcast has more potential than I first realized. So, season two is already starting to take shape, and I'm actually more excited about season two, more excited than I'm actually scared, which feels like growth to me. So, next week, we'll be back with that redundancy guest episode. where we're talking about what happens when the identity you built around your work disappears overnight and who you become next. It's an important conversation, and I can't wait to share it with you. Until then, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for growing with me. I will see you next week.